Hey there, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'd like to share how I made $422.45 selling digital products online in just 1 hour, okay? Now, actually, I should rephrase that just to paint a more accurate picture. So, it's not like I was selling multiple different digital products or even one digital product that has a lower cost and I was selling it multiple times over and over to amount to a total of $422.45. This was more of a one-time sale, right? It was one product that I sold, and the commission on it was $422.45. So that is a product that I did not own. It was not one that I had to create. This was something that was already there, created by somebody else, and as an affiliate, I earned a commission for making the sale of that product. Now, the product is a $497 product, which pays out an 85% commission. Okay, so that's how I was able to do that. But before I get into the details explaining how I did it and what was all involved, I just want to reflect, or at least share some kind of excitement, right? Because this was the first time I was able to make this kind of sale in this particular way, right? I have made sales on commissions even bigger than that before in a single day, right? But what excites me more, or what I find really fascinating and interesting about this, is the way I was able to make this sale, because it is a new skill that I am currently learning and trying to get better at. And I learned this all through a program called Digital Wealth Academy, which you can check out. It's going to be the first link in the description below this video if you want to take a look at it for yourself. It does teach 15 different ways to make money online, right? And this sale that I made was just one of the 15 different ways that they do teach, right? So that was that. Now, what I was gonna say, which is really interesting, is for those of you who've been around on my channel for a while, you'll know, like if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that part-time, like one of the things that I do on the side is refereeing soccer games, right? I do that on the weekends, like Friday nights and all day Sunday. And what I find so interesting about this is the fact that when I do that, right, these are small-sided soccer games, right? They only, each one takes about an hour, 25-minute halves, and for each one I get paid like $40 an hour, right? So $40 per game, which essentially comes out to $40 an hour, right? Because each game, it takes about an hour, right? And on Sundays, right, I'm out there pretty much all day long, right? Because I'll do sometimes, on the less busy days, I'll do 7 games in one day. Other times I'll do 8 games, and then the most I'll ever do in a single day is like 9 games, right? So essentially, like on days where I'm basically on those days making anywhere from $280 for 7 games, or $320 for 8 games, or $360 for 9 games, okay? And I'm out there all freaking day long, sometimes in the sun when it's really hot, right? Or in the cold when it's cold, and doing that for 8 hours, right? Or which is what typically tends to be the most often that I do on Sundays. It's usually 8, maybe 7, sometimes 9. But let's just call it 8 hours. That's $320. Even if it was 9 games, $360. And it takes me an entire day to do that, okay? And it's just incredible when I think about the fact that I'll take that long doing that, and then within an hour, right, I was able to make more than that, right? More than what it takes me to do essentially an entire workday, right? And I say all this to say, like, if your eyes are not being open to the potential that's out there with regards to selling products online, whether it's physical products or digital products, right? If you're the type of person that only wants to sell like tangible stuff, physical, you can do that too and still make amounts, like really good amounts of money. The only difference now is that you're going to have to drive a lot more volume, right? A lot more volume, because on physical products the margins tend to be a lot smaller, so your commissions are going to be a lot smaller as well, okay? So if you have ever been thinking about you know, like maybe you know, if things are tight, right, like needing an extra amount of money and all that type of stuff, or picking up a second job or something, this whole digital marketing and affiliate marketing space is a place that I highly encourage you to take a look at, right? Take a look at and really give it a try, because I mean, I've seen it change so many people's lives, right? So many people's lives, people with no prior experience, and they're just getting started. And it's something that you should really try to get into, right? So that's that. Like, it's like my mind was kind of blown by the fact that I did that. And this was using a new skill that I've been developing, right? So let's just go ahead and get into, get into how exactly I did it without beating around the bush. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I did this on TikTok live, all right? Like doing a live, and it doesn't have to be TikTok. This can be Instagram. You can be doing this on YouTube, and because of that, right now I've started to try to expand my reach by doing, some of you might have already seen like some of my first lives that I've done here on YouTube, pretty bad, right? And it's, this was like going live, right? Doing live videos and actually selling on live is something that what really got my attention was a guy. For those of you who are in the space, you'll be pretty familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, right? He said something that really got me going. He was like, the next big thing right now, right, is social selling, in essence, right? Live selling. Like he did mention that if there's anything that Amazon should be worried about, as in say in comparison, in relation to like the likes of TikTok, who have the TikTok shop, or that becoming a thing, it's this whole idea of social selling, right? Selling live, right? Live, I don't know what he called it, live, social selling, live selling, right? Live shopping, whatever the case may be, okay? And he said that, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this should be something that I should try to do. And I've seen people doing this type of stuff, right? Whether it's selling digital products or selling physical products. And I'd always thought to myself, I don't know if that's something that I can do. In the same way, I always used to look at people doing YouTube videos and, doubting my ability to create videos that anybody's going to want to watch, right? I just felt like, well, I've been doing YouTube videos. I've gotten comfortable doing them, even if I'm not that great at them, but at least I feel comfortable doing them. This seems like the next natural progression, right? Like trying to do this stuff live, right? Trying to go on live. It was something I was scared about, worried about, like keeping up with comments and trying to pay attention at the same time, not losing track of what I'm going to say. And these are all things that I've been learning inside Digital Wealth Academy, okay? Digital Wealth Academy is a course, right? It's basically it's a digital product, right? And it's a course in essence, right? It has video trainings and all these different things in them that show you how to do, make money online in various different ways. And one of them involves live, selling on live, right? And specifically on TikTok, okay? They also have a module in there with different training videos for doing TikTok shop, right? So, and there's, again, I'm not gonna go run down all the different ways there are to make money online in the course, right? That's something that you can take a look at for yourself if you want to. It's on the sales page. It's going to be that first link in the description below this video. It'll take you to my Stan Store, and you just need to click on DWA, and you'll see everything that's in there. And I'll give you a quick brief little view in this video later on, showing you the inside and all that type of stuff. But it's the whole idea of knowing that I was able to, I just did a live, right? Like I basically was selling, in case of those of you who haven't figured it out just yet, the product that I was selling, right, was indeed a Digital Wealth Academy, right? They do one of the 15 different streams of income, or 15 different ways to make money online that they do teach you in there, is affiliate marketing. And one of the products that they have available to you as a done-for-you product to start promoting right from the get-go, if you don't have your own product that you want to promote, is the course itself, right? This is essentially like having your own done-for-you product. The course costs $497, but because it's a digital product, they can afford to pay affiliates an 85% commission. Okay, and that's how I was able to make that sale. So I went on live, following the structure, right? Following the structure to sell things of this nature online that are taught inside Digital Wealth Academy. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and get inside and just show you exactly what we're talking about. So these are some of the testimonials that they have, different people talking about. Like if you go to the top of the page, you'll see, right, so there's 126.7 thousand people in here right now. There's a reason why it's one of the fastest growing courses in this space, right? 126.7 thousand people in there. And then this page that I'm on here just happens to have a bunch of testimonials, people talking about like having hit 100K, 12,000 earned, and blah blah blah. Anyway, that's all that, right? They have a whole page there with all their different testimonials in Spanish. So the course does come in 6 different languages as well, by the way. So English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, German, and what am I missing? English, Spanish, French, Italian, my own language. Italian, how did I miss that? Italian, yeah, there you go. So that's the 6th one. But yeah, I only remember that because I saw someone here giving their testimonial here in Spanish. But if I go to the classroom, right, these are the different, there are several, there's like pages upon pages upon pages of different things that, different ways to make money online, different strategies, email marketing, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, all print on demand, different ways to make money online that they teach in here, right? But the one that I went to, right, was here, right? Everything like stuff related to TikTok. So if I click on that, connecting on TikTok, and so they here they have these are a bunch, all the different modules, right? Sorry, this is the module, I guess. All the different videos, right? So there's an introduction, why TikTok lives, how to start on TikTok live, live settings, 6 keys. So but you can see them here, right? I don't need to read all of them out. You can pause the video and take a look, right? So I'm not wasting all your time. But that was essentially it. I went through all of that, right? I went through all of that because I've never known how to do anything on TikTok, to be honest, right? Well, actually, I take that back. I've known how to create a profile. I've had one. It's been on there, but it's just been sitting on there. I've not really ever been familiar with how to navigate the thing here and there, but that's me. I've never been like a social media type of person, so I'm learning all of that, just now learning it now, kind of being forced to, because if it was not for the power of digital marketing and what social media can do for you in terms of marketing, I don't think I would have ever cared to be on any of these social media platforms, right? But hey, there's money to be made on them, and I'm not about to sleep on those, right? So that's why I'm just now figuring out how to get videos up and create like how to edit videos and all that type of stuff, things that I'd never done, that I'd never really been that tech. I've just never been a tech savvy type of person, and I'm just enjoying like the progression, like how I'm seeing myself growing, becoming better, even though it might not look like it right now on video. But I'm like you should have seen me like a couple years back, right? But it's just a constant progression, right? All these different things that I used to be worried about and scared about, that I don't know if I'd like, not having the confidence to think that I could do them, I've started doing them thanks to all this stuff that I've been learning inside Digital Wealth Academy. And it's just a gradual process, right? Like I know, like there's always room for improvement, okay? And so that's what I've done with this, right? But this is like, these are all the different modules, and I went through all of this. I learned, I studied all the videos, followed whatever the format was, and I went on. And the way TikTok Live works is you just get on there, right, and you start talking about whatever it is that you want to talk about, right? They will teach you and show you like ways to put up stickers so that people coming into the room have an idea what it is that you're talking about, or people will comment and ask you questions wondering what it's about, whatever that type of stuff. So it was just a combination of me coming in there, talking about the product, right, or basically for like teaching, you know, the whole concept of affiliate marketing and digital marketing for those who are interested in getting started making money online through those means, right? Through those ways, right? And then of course I explain it, I teach, show people how it works and all that, and then I basically got to the point where I was telling them, hey, if they want further information and education on how to do all this stuff, because obviously that's just a live and I can't cover everything, you know, it would take me hours, right? It would take me hours. But I essentially just gave like a rundown within an hour, right? Explaining everything. And the person, you know, this is a very important thing to point out. Like, I'm not aware of whether that particular person that did purchase from me, it was somebody, whether or not, I'm not aware of whether or not they were someone that had already been following me on TikTok, on my TikTok profile. And so obviously, and the reason I say that is because when people follow you and they engage with your content, they see you, you know, they get to start knowing you, and they're more inclined to want to purchase from you over time, right? But what I don't know, and what I think, as a matter of fact, what I think, and which is why I was kind of pretty impressed by myself, which I could, you know, maybe I was lucky too, right? Is the fact that I believe that this was someone who came across me for the first time on that live, right? I don't think they had been a follower before, right? I don't think they had engaged with my content in the past, right? They were just meeting me for the first time, which is what is mind-blowing to me, right? So it just tells me that if you can become better at a certain thing, right? Whether it's like just better at conversions, like at converting, right? Or getting your message across the right way to help conversions, like you can do some really good things, right? So this is something that is interesting. Like obviously this happened, I did this a couple weeks ago, I want to say, but ever since, obviously I'm leaning into that alongside with all the other things that I'm doing, and you know, learning inside Digital Wealth Academy across the different social media platforms, right? But this is something that I'm constantly gonna try to keep getting better at and better at and better at. You know, that's like people in sales. That's how they become better at selling, from experience, reps over and over, that type of stuff. So that's how I did it in a nutshell, right? If you have any questions about it, just put them in the comment section below. I will be sure to respond. But I just wanted to give you like a brief rundown. I don't want to make this video too long. It's already long enough as it's been, I feel like. And that's the other thing, right? I used to be at a point, at first I used to be in a place where I could barely talk for a minute or two, right? But now I've started doing this stuff to the point where I've become so familiar to the point where you can't even get me to shut up, right? Here it is, we're already 18 minutes into the video, or we're getting there. It was never my intent, right? So, but that comes over time, right? That comes over time. But anyway, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to check out Digital Wealth Academy for yourself, right? It's going to be that first link in the description below this video. Like I said, there's 15 different ways to make money online that they teach inside there. I would not encourage you to try to do all 15 from the start if you're a beginner, right? I would encourage you to just stick to 1, 2, or 3 at the max, right? And get good at them, learn them, because you don't want to get yourself into a situation where you're spreading yourself too thin, okay? And you're really not digging deep and getting ahead, right? So stick to just one way as you get started. And you know, I would, of course, if you like the course, I would highly encourage you to promote it as an affiliate as well. That's one of the quickest ways, at least, to get started making money as an affiliate, right? Because you're learning the material. So basically, you can be earning while you're learning. In essence, what people typically say, right? So whatever method that you do take to start generating an income, this is something that you can do on the side as well, right? It's like a relatively simple way to get started. All right, that's it for now. If you have any questions, like I said, comments or suggestions, put them in the comment section below. I will be sure to respond. And I appreciate you, you know, taking the time to watch this video. If you made it all the way to the end, if you are one of the few that made it to the end, type in the comments. type in the comments go-getter, right? Go-getter. If you type go-getter in the comments below, I'll know that you are one of the minority, one of the few that watched this video all the way to the end. So type go-getter in the comments and I'll know you. I'll know you're one of those. Okay. All right. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch, and I will catch you in my next video. Ciao.